Majors, the visiting London Majors, and your Barrie Baycats. Here this afternoon's starting lineups. First for the visiting London Majors, who are managed by Ruth Vanderdack. Batting first, the second baseman, number 38, Jacob Newton. Batting second, the third baseman, number 29, Taylor Wright. The designated hitter, batting third, number 35, Cleveland Brown. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 25, Robert Cullen. Batting fifth, in right field, number 7, Starling Joseph. Batting sixth, in left field, number 48, Byron Reichstein. Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 4, Drew Lawrence. Batting eighth, at first base, number 5, Dan Terrier. And bat ninth, the shortstop, number 12, Keith Handel. Pitching this afternoon for the Majors, Jose Arias. And now, the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Becklow. Batting first at shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting third at third base, number 8, Brandy Infante. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 34, James Anderson. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 47, Brad McQuinn. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Plumpton. Batting seventh at first base, number 5, Josh Cote. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 17, Brandon Colley. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 22, Juan Familia. Pitching this afternoon for your Baycats, number 31, Baycats. Here are the umpires for this afternoon's contest, calling the balls and strikes, Jeff Rose. Handling first and second base, Isaac Zepchuk. And at third base, Preston Hughes. Fans, if you could please rise, if you are able to, kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Live from Vintage Throne Stadium in the township of Springwater, it's Barrie Baycats baseball. Today, the defending IBL champion London Majors make their final visit of the regular season to Midhurst here in 2022. Hello again, everyone, and a very happy Saturday afternoon. I'm Ben Davey with Patrick Melbourne, Kendra Doyle on assignment this afternoon. Welcome to the broadcast. Today, the last of 6 regular season matchups between the Majors and the Baycats. London is 3-2. Baycats will try to tie the season series here with a win today. Barrie coming off a big home win Thursday over Welland Patrick, but the offense has struggled. It's no secret, just 11 runs over their last 5 games, and only one game in those 5 where they've scored more than 3 times.
Yeah, and it's not their number one lineup today. A few names out of the lineup that are normally in it, but the Baycats coming off a big win. We're hoping to bring that momentum onto this one as well. It's a good pitching matchup for both sides. It'll be a fun one.
Let's take a look at our starting lineup tonight for Root Chanderdats London Mangers. The second baseman is Jacob Newton, and he is leading off today. Taylor Wright, the third baseman, bats second. Cleveland Brownlee, the IBL veteran, having a season for the ages, DHing and batting third. Robert Mullen, the hot-hitting catcher, is in the cleanup spot. Starling Joseph in right field bats fifth. Byron Reichstein is in left field batting sixth. Drew Lawrence in center field hitting seventh. Dan Perrier is the first baseman in the 8th spot, and shortstop Keith Candell, the number 9 hitter today for the Mangers.
On the mound today for the Barrie Baycats, it is Juan Benitez, the right-hander, 6-5 this season with a 4.93 ERA in 12 starts. And 69 in the third innings pitch. He has 72 strikeouts. That's good, and he's been striking out a lot of hitters lately. Had a great start in Brantford. Only 15 walks. He generally keeps the walks down. 78 hits, so want to keep that down, as his last start was not his best. They want him to go deeper into games, and they want him to get those strikeouts continuing to go up.
Yeah, Juan last worked on Sunday in Kitchener. That game you referenced, a 4-inning start in a 9-5 loss to the Panthers at Jack Couch Park. Juan allowing 8 runs, 6 of them earned. Very uncharacteristic. He struggled out there quite a bit. He did strike out 5 and didn't walk any, but the Panthers really were able to get to him early and often in that ball game. So this is a bounce-back appearance for him, and certainly couldn't be more timely as we wind down the regular season and try to get him and everybody else in sync for the postseason.
Well, he'll be wanting to get back in front of the home crowd and back to winning ways. He's a guy who can be an ace for this team.
Home plate umpire today is Jeff Rose. Isaac Zivchuk behind the bag at first. Preston Hughes is at third base.
Jeff Rose, a very good umpire behind the plate, one of the most consistently good in the IBL.
Loud music and a loud crowd here at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's Rock 95 Day, so we're going to hear a lot of loud music, I'm sure, as we get ready for the first inning, and Jacob Newton will step to the plate. Another beautiful, hot, sunny day here in August as Newton gets ready to face Juan Benitez, the Dominican right-hander, 30 years old, from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Battle of Dominican pitchers here today. Juan Benitez for the Baycats and Jose Arias for the Mangers. And a called strike to start this ball game off at 4:09. Here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
It's a very good lineup for the London Mangers. There's a reason that they're tied, or they were tied for first for a long time, and now they are in sole possession of first place with a 28-10 record.
1-1 from Benitez, working quickly here, and a swing and a miss by Newton.
Both the Royals and the Mangers very happy with that Baycats win over the Jackfish a couple days ago, because they were both able to make up ground in the standings.
Welland was on top in the standings for quite a while, and the Mangers, the defending champs, now back up by a game, as you mentioned. 3 games left for the Mangers after today. They're in Kitchener tomorrow, and then next week they've got Guelph and Toronto.
Baycats only have the 2 left.
Fly ball, center field. James Anderson is there today. Camps under it, makes the catch, and let's give you the rest of the defense today for the Barrie Baycats behind Juan Benitez.
Stuart looks a little bit different today. James Anderson is in left, Juan Familia in center, Brad McQuinn in right. Really good arm out there with Juan Familia. Good range in right with Brad McQuinn. He's got some speed as well. Brantfield Fonts is at third. Carson Burns at shortstop. Brendan Colley over at second today. He can play anywhere in the infield. And Josh Cote making his first start at first base, normally a catcher. Tyler Plumpton, the very good catcher behind the plate for Juan Benitez.
Here's Taylor Wright, the third baseman. Left-hander waits the first pitch, and it's low ball 1. Wright, 6'3", 200 pounds. Fouled that one off his left leg, and he'll hobble that one off and take a little bit of a stroll up the first baseline as he does so, and get ready for this 1-1 pitch. That one came off the bat sharply. It's a little bit of time for Wright to walk that one off.
Wright's got 5 home runs this year, and he's hitting .385, in case you're wondering why he's hitting in that 2 spot.
IBL rookie, a Western Canadian hailing from Vancouver, BC. 25 years old. Benitez pitch just inside, and the count is 2-1 to Taylor Wright. Our first inning for starting lineup uniforms and apparel. The official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of sunscreen and bottled water around the ballpark again here today on this beautiful summer afternoon. Fastball lifted to center field. Familia with a long way to go, and that one's going to carry, and it's over the head of the center fielder, Familia. He'll pick it up near the fence, and into second with a stand-up double is Taylor Wright. So the Majors get their first base runner of the afternoon. Game time temperature, 23 degrees, no humidex, although it feels a little bit sticky here at the ballpark. Beautiful, bright, sunny sky. Some clouds, but right now a big, bright sun above us, and the wind fairly negligible. It was blowing in slightly earlier today from left to right, but right now those flags pretty much limp over the right field scoreboard.
I'm also avoiding a bee at the moment.
Yeah, I was wondering if we had a nest below us, to be honest with you, because they were swarming, not to alarm you, they were swarming around here earlier. So
That's what I wanted to hear in response to that.
The Premier of Ontario swallowed a bee earlier this week. Did you see that?
Yeah, he certainly
footage?
did.
Let's hope that doesn't happen today to either of us. I wouldn't
Well, I'm
handle it.
wearing a mask, so I'm not going to be swallowing a bee.
That's true. There's another advantage. One 0 pitch inside. Brownlee ducking away, and it's 2-0.
I might wear a mask for an extended period of time then, now that you've brought up bees maybe right below us, because I really don't want to swallow one. Thank you very much.
8 doubles for Taylor Wright now this season. He goes. Pitch is fouled off. Brownlee protecting the plate.
Good jump on that one. Would have been in there easily.
3 stolen bases this season for Wright. Nearly swiped a 4th there. Brownlee unable to put that ball in play, so the count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
After the Majors took the lead in the IBL standings, Jackfish now down to 2nd place, and they're only a couple of games ahead of the Guelph Royals. So if they face off against Barrie one more time. So Jackfish hoping to avoid falling to 3rd place.
Strike 2, and the count is even. Majors with a record of 28-10. Looking to follow up their championship season from a year ago. As you mentioned, Welland just a game back, Guelph 2 behind, so plenty of playoff scenarios still to play out there with those top 3. Looks like the 4-5 matchup is going to be Toronto and Barrie.
Hamilton just keeps on winning as well.
2-2 from Juan Benitez. And the count is full. 2 games separate the Maple Leafs and the Baycats, but with only a handful of games left, it looks unlikely that Barrie will be able to surpass Toronto and grab home field in that first round. Still mathematically possible.
Baycats have to win all 3 of their remaining games, and the Maple Leafs essentially have to lose all of their remaining games.
Strike 3, Cleveland Brownlee is Juan Benitez's first strikeout victim of the afternoon.
To be honest with you, looking at the weather the last couple hours, I was really hoping that we'd avoid one of these hot Saturday afternoon games, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to.
Not nearly as hot and sticky as it was last time London was here. We'll say that. And
that's true, but it's not exactly a nice windy day either.
We had a 4 o'clock game against London here on, was it June 25th? It was right after the kids got out of school. I think that was it. It was the last Saturday in June. And it was one of the hottest, maybe the hottest I've ever felt it here at Vintage Throne Stadium. We were pretty much just drinking water constantly up here.
There were a couple of those this summer.
1-0 is the count to Robert Mullen, the catcher. And now time is called.
Mullen has been an excellent player. He's hitting over 400 with 12 home runs and 42 RBI.
Left field. Anderson going back all the way to the fence, looks up, it's over the wall, and it is gone. Robert Mullen gives it a ride, and the Majors on top 2-0.
Make that 13 home runs and 44 RBI. This guy's good, man, and he knew it off the bat. Hit it to left field, bat drop. Confidence high for the London Majors early in this one.
Taylor Wright and Robert Mullen with a helmet click at home plate to celebrate the home run. There's something I haven't seen before.
Right fielder number 7, Starling Joseph.
You see the forearm bash. You see a lot of different things. I've never seen the helmet. What do you call it? They clicked helmets. They lifted off their helmets and
it's like a fist bump, but with helmets.
Yeah, exactly. Or like cheers, like they're toasting wine glasses, but with their helmets in the air. I kind of like it. I gotta say, I've never seen that before after a home run.
Baycats hoping to not see that again today.
Into the gap. That's trouble. All the way to the wall. Back for it is Juan Familia. It's an easy double for Starling Joseph. And he'll hold it second.
Third extra base hit for the Barrie Baycats in the inning. Or excuse me, against the Barrie Baycats in this inning for the London Majors.
Left fielder number 48, Byron Reichstein.
Majors have won 3 in a row and 8 out of 10. Barrie 4-6 in their last 10. Looking for back-to-back wins here this week against Welland and trying to come away with a victory over London here to make it 2 in a row this week. Juan Benitez looking to stop the bleeding right here and a called strike to Reichstein to start it off.
Reichstein rejoined the London Majors about halfway through the regular season, right shortly before the signing deadline. And he has really been a great middle-of-the-order hitter for the London Majors over the years. Just lengthens the lineup because you have Andrew Lawrence, a guy who's not even hit in this batting order yet. He's a guy who's won one of the monthly awards for the Baycats. And this year, with him hitting .255 with a triple, 13 hits in 15 games, it's almost a little bit underwhelming from him because we saw him hit over 400 last year. And he's dangerous in the playoffs as well. Hit .450 in the playoffs last year in 7 games. Of course, they won the championship. He was a big part of that.
Even pitched a couple of games with London back in 2016 and 2017. Hasn't seen any mound action since, but 28 years old. The big left fielder waggles the bat as Benitez looks in for the sign, comes set. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The pitch. Ball. No, called. Strike 3. Jeff Rose rings him up. Juan Benitez with a pair of strikeouts in the inning, and that'll do it for the Majors, but they score 2 and lead by a pair after a half an inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared. Bottom of the first inning, let's take a look at the lineup for Josh Matlow's Barrie Baycats today. Carson Burns will get a shot at the leadoff spot today at shortstop. Ryan Rio DHing and batting second for the second straight game. Brant Fianfonte is here batting third at third. James Anderson, the cleanup man, at left. Brad McQuinn bats fifth and right. Tyler Plumpton catching, batting sixth. Josh Cote at first. Brendan Colley at second, and Juan Familia in center field. And they will face right-hander Jose Arias.
Arias has been excellent this season for the London Majors, 1.52 ERA this season. He has been their ace, and it's a first-place team, so that is significant.
30-year-old from Santiago, Dominican Republic. We've got a battle of Dominican right-handers on the mound today with Arias and Benitez.
13th start of the season for Arias. He has 9 wins, 1 loss, a 1.52 ERA, as mentioned. In 82 and 2/3 innings, he has struck out 113 and walked only 27.
Burns lines this one over the first baseman's glove. It's into right field, down the line. That's going to give Burns a chance for 2. And the throw comes in late, and it's a stand-up double for Carson Burns.
Hit to the perfect spot in the outfield. That looked like a single off the bat, but he managed to get 2 bases off of it. Well done.
Let's look at the defense for the London Majors today for Ruth Chanderdat.
Left fielder is Byron Reichstein, as mentioned, joined the team fairly recently. Andrew Lawrence in center and Starling Joseph in right, good right fielder. It'll be Wright, Candell on the left side, Newton and Perrier on the right side, Robert Mullen, an excellent catcher defensively. Behind the plate for Jose Arias.
So the Baycats looking to respond to London's 2-0 tally in the top half of the inning. Rio first pitch swinging, and he fouls it off left side.
Arias' last start was actually a loss. He went 6 innings in Guelph. Gave up 4 earned runs, 5 runs total with 7 hits and 2 walks. Didn't strike out as many as normal in that outing either, only 4 strikeouts. In Barrie last time, he struck out 12.
Yeah, that was a 7-3 loss to the Royals exactly 1 week ago. And not a terrible outing, but not what you would expect from Jose Arias, who's having a banner season on the mound.
He's faced Barrie twice this year. It was in Barrie on May 28th and in London on July 22nd. He won both games.
Foul tip into the glove, and it's strike 3 to Ryan Rio. 2 out for Brant Fianfonte. Arias and Benitez with several similarities. We mentioned their fellow countrymen, both right-handers, obviously, and they are both 30 years old. Arias from Santiago and Benitez from Santo Domingo. Arias stands 6'5", 235 pounds. Big right-hander. That's lined up the middle, and it's into center field for a base hit. Rounding third is Carson Burns. He'll try to score. The throw is cut off, and Barrie's on the board. 2-1 Majors on an RBI single for Brant Fianfonte.
great to see Infante with a big single there, up in the top third of the order for the first time in a while today, and instantly having an impact.
Veteran James Anderson comes to the plate, the left fielder in the cleanup spot today. Anderson hitting .283 coming into today. 0 for 4 against the Jackfish here on Thursday. He'd love to have a big afternoon here. Gets the signs from the third base coach and steps back into the box. Pitch is low and away, and the count is even 1-1.
Barrie 2-3 this season against the London Majors. This is the last game of the season series between these two teams.
Well, you'd certainly take a 3-3 split against the defending Intercounty Baseball League champs if you could get it, and that's what Barrie would do with a win here today. 1-1 the count. Infante, the lead does not go. The pitch, right back to the glove of Arias, drops it, picks it back up, throws to first to get the out there, but advancing 90 feet is Branfy Infante. So Anderson is retired 1-3. Infante moves to second. Could have been a double play ball, so fortuitous for Barrie in that regard, as it'll extend the inning for Brad McQuinn.
McQuinn's been hitting quite well for the Baycats this season. Came in and we weren't sure what we were really going to get because he hasn't played in the IBL for quite some time before this year. Last time he had played was, I believe, with the Burlington Herd. But he's hitting .290, has a home run, 4 RBI. He's been quite good.
Started left field in a memorable game here last week, and he was ejected arguing balls and strikes, and that brought manager Josh Matlow into the game to play left field for the rest of the evening.
Not a great game that day for McQuinn, but the next game in Kitchener for him, he hit a home run.
And he's ahead in the count here, 2-0.
He has a good eye at the plate, some power, some speed.
Four RBIs in his 16 games for Barrie this year. 2-0 from Arias. Chopped on the ground to second. Newton over to first for the out, and Barrie is retired. They score a run and make it 2-1 London after an inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For the Baycats in the
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Juan Benitez concludes his warm-up tosses as we head to the top of the second inning. It's the bottom third of the order. Drew Lawrence, Dan Perrier, and Keith Candell.
Second inning of play at Vintage Throne Stadium, brought to you by Barrie today.
Bit of relief from the sun for the fans here, at least momentarily, as we got some cloud cover now.
BarrieToday.com, your community, your news. Hitting off the second for the Majors, center fielder number 4, Drew Lawrence.
If you're just joining us, the Majors up 2-0 on the strength of a 2-run homer by Robert Mullen, scoring Taylor Wright. 2 runs, 3 hits for London. A run on 2 hits for the Baycats in the bottom half of that inning.
Drew Lawrence is a guy who could lead things off in a batting order. He has had a really nice season for the Majors. Won the IBL Player of the Month in May after hitting .550 in those 4 games. 6 RBI, 6 runs, 11 hits. And hitting .284 on the season with 16 RBI total. He's had a great year.
Just 18 years old, hometown product from London. His IBL rookie season. 2 balls, 2 strikes to him here. Here's the pitch from Benitez. Up the middle. Cawley with it, off balance throw. It's low and it's picked nicely by Josh Cote at first. 1 away in the second.
Cote playing his first game of the season over there at first base. Normally a catcher for the Baycats, but they have several catchers on the roster and needed a first baseman today. He's a guy that can move over there and play some good first base. We just saw it.
First baseman, correction, number 15, Dan Perrier.
Daniel Perrier, another guy in his first IBL season. Looks like he could have played some basketball in high school as well. 6'9", 265, Ottawa native.
He's pretty tall.
0-1 pitch. Gets the outside corner for a strike.
I was watching a game last night, and O'Neal Cruz of the Pittsburgh Pirates, he's 6'7" as a shortstop. One of the tallest shortstops of all time.
Wow. That's not a position where you usually see tall players.
Because you need that range, the athleticism, but he's got it.
Well, first base is a good spot for Dan Perrier. Pitch is low, and the count is 2-2.
Perrier, a good defender, hitting .376 this season. This Majors lineup just doesn't stop.
24 years old. Fouls that one back to the screen, and he stays alive.
If there's one thing Perrier wants to cut down on, it's the strikeouts. 23 strikeouts in 29 games. He isn't super high, but it's higher than most of his other stats. He has 29 hits, though, so he gets on base quite a bit.
And even at 6'9", he's got the pant legs right down to the shoe tops, so perhaps the longest inseam in the Intercounty Baseball League this year when measuring uniform pants.
Now, if you were playing, would you have the tall socks?
I like them just below the knees. I'm kind of old school. Swing and a miss. That is the third strikeout for Juan Benitez, and there's 2 quick outs here in the second. How about you?
No, I wouldn't go with the long socks.
The shortstop, number 12, Keith Candell.
Some teams have some really interesting, patterns or stripes with the socks.
True.
St. Louis Cardinals have those, kind of a layered stripe below the knee at the top of the sock for players that wear them up there. I've always kind of liked those. Bit of a throwback look. Benitez burns in on another strike to start off Keith Candell.
I mean, you look at this London order. Candell, one of 3 hitters to be hitting under 300. But of those 3 hitters, one of them's Candell, who is a very good hitter at the plate. And then another one is Reichstein, who hit 400 last season. Another one's Lawrence, who has had his ups and downs. But at his best, he is one of the most talented hitters in this lineup. Just a strong lineup all around. Of course, the Baycats used to that. They faced Welland in the game before this one and won.
Benitez has been coming at Candell pretty much with straight fastballs here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside, and the count is even 2-2.
Another heater on the outside.
Obviously, we don't have the luxury of a radar gun, but Benitez fastball looks pretty good right now. 2-2. And that one's fouled off to the right side.
It looks like how it did in Brantford. when he had that fastball working, and he had a really nice start that day. They would love that version of Benitez to be out here today.
Ended the first with a strikeout. Let's see if he can repeat that here. 2-2 pitch, and it's high and outside. The count is full. Up near the letters. And just off the plate.
He had that pitch available to him to waste it. Now in a full count.
Good patience by Candell. Here's the 3-2, and it's ball 4. What an at-bat for the number 9 hitter. Keeps the inning alive, and we're back to the top of the order. So here's Jacob Newton, who started the ball game with a fly out to left.
Second baseman number 38, Jacob Newton.
Candell being held on by Josh Cote. He draws a throw.
Baycats have picked off some base runners lately.
And another throw over. Candell has 11 stolen bases this season. Does not go. And the pitch is fouled away. We're in the top of the second. It's brought to you by BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com, your community, your news. 0-1. Off the glove of Benitez. Carson Burns is there. Makes the running throw, and it's in time for the out. So the Majors strand a runner on the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the inning with London on top 2-1. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Off the second for the Baycats.
With Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davey. It is the second last regular season game of 2022 for the Barrie Baycats. So second last here at home, I should say. Third last on the schedule.
And this is normally where I would tell you that all Saturday afternoon home games at 4 p.m. are Junior Baycats days, but this is the last one. So I can't really talk about the ones that are upcoming. But this is a Saturday afternoon home game, and it started at 4 p.m., and it is a Junior Baycats days. Day, singular.
Plumped into left field. Reichstein is there, makes the easy catch. There's some fans behind that left field wall. We haven't seen that a whole lot this year, but there are actually a couple of fans' chairs sitting out there, and there's some youngsters as well, and they know that that's where the home runs are going to be hit, and they're ready.
Baycats would like to thank Rock 95, Cool FM, Barrie 316, Moonwalk Entertainment, and Dream Parties, because family fun was taken to a whole new level this season.
I see the Connect 4 game over at the Rock 95 tent as Cote hits that one. It's past second for a base hit. Got the bouncy castle with a little slide on the other side. Kids are enjoying that right now as well. Here's Brendan Colley, the second baseman. Colley, a versatile infielder. He's played both second and third for Josh Matlow this season. Called strike to start him off.
He's a guy that can play all around the infield. The Baycats have been fortunate to have him on their team this season. It's been a really nice addition to the team. Last season, mostly third base was Marcel Lacasse. He's been in the Frontier League for most of this year.
He's played about 3/4 of the games. This is his 32nd game. More than 3/4.
He's been a good addition. As Andrew White giving him the sign from third base.
Behind here, no balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first, it's Josh Cote. Looks like he's thinking about going, and he does not. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Jose Arias. And number 9 hitter Juan Familia comes to the plate.
Number 22, Juan Familia.
Familia hitting .222. This is his 24th game. 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. Josh Cote does not have a stolen base this season. Limited action. It's just his 5th game. Slow curveball and a swing and a miss. Familia way in front of that.
Familia 0 for 3 against Arias this season.
Bounces up to the plate. Mullen quickly off with the mask. Runner stays put. Good job there by Robert Mullen.
Might just be 0 for 2, actually, looking at this. In the last game between the Majors and the Baycats where Arias pitched, they used 3 pitchers. They used Arias, Farrington, and Gore. And Familia had 3 at-bats in that game. So I doubt all 3 of them were against Arias, but he was 0 for 3 in that game. With
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out in the inning.
Yeah, 2 out in the inning.
Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. That will do it as Juan Familia goes down on strikes. Baycats strand a runner. We're through 2. It's 2-1 Majors. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For the Baycats in the second inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie or revivemedspa.ca.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
Welcome back. Inning number 3 brought to you by First Aid Canada, your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Juan Benitez back out there on the hill in the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be Taylor Wright, Cleveland Brownlee, and Robert Mullen. 3 games today in the IBL. This is the only afternoon game. Welland and Brantford are playing at 8 p.m. That's in Brantford. And then Toronto and Guelph are playing at 7:30. That is in Guelph. So playoff implications today around the league. London, Welland, and Guelph all playing, as well as both Barrie and Toronto, who look likely to face off in the first round of the playoffs. And the Brantford Red Sox, who will be, I would assume, facing the number 1 seed. Right now, that is London. Ben?
Yeah, and the Majors are red hot, Patrick. They've scored 32 runs in 2 games. Mind you, both of those games were against Brantford, but just gives you an idea of what this offense is capable of. They socked it to Brantford 20-4 last night and then had a 12-0 win on Tuesday against the Red Sox. So that is not a first-round matchup that Brantford wants. Could be a short series.
I haven't done the official playoff chart to see who would be facing who, but it's 1v8 and 2v7, right?
Correct.
So right now it would be London versus Brantford, Welland versus Hamilton, Guelph versus Kitchener, and Toronto versus Barrie.
Correct. And again, with that Barrie-Toronto, it's just a matter of whether the Baycats could mathematically get home field. It looks very unlikely, but
it's still possible. Brantford is almost guaranteed. I think they are guaranteed to face the 1 seed at this point. It's just who that's going to be.
To right field, over is McQuinn, and he reaches up and makes the grab. 1 out here in the 3rd.
Good job to get Taylor Wright out. He was the one that doubled and scored in the 1st inning.
The designated hitter, number 35, Cleveland Brownlee.
Well, the Baycats have had trouble against the Maple Leafs this season, and especially at Christie Pitts. It's been a tough park for them.
It's a tough park to play at, and it's a tough park to pitch at, especially for visitors.
Brownlee first pitch swinging at straightaway center field. Familia backpedaling, going back right to the 405 sign. That's about a 400-foot out off the bat of DH Cleveland Brownlee, 2 away.
Keeping that pitch count low here in the 2nd inning or the 3rd inning. This is the guy you got to watch out for, Robert Mullen. Hitting a home run in the 1st inning, coming in with just absurd stats. Hitting .405 on the season now with 13 home runs and 44 RBI. In 38 games, he has only struck out 14 times and he's walked 20 times. What a signing. Credit where credit's due on that one.
Rocks into the windup. 1-0 pitch is low and away, 2-0.
Because Mullen has been excellent.
So the Maple Leafs with 5 games left, including Guelph today, Brantford Sunday, and then Kitchener, Brantford, and London all next weekend. Thursday, Friday, Sunday. So they've got 5 left. Barrie has 3 left.
I believe I'll have to check which teams have rain-out reschedules on the schedule. Baycats have none, so they have a couple of very light weeks ahead.
If Barrie runs the table and wins these next 3 games, Toronto would have to go 1-4 over those 5 for Barrie to pull ahead of the Leafs, and the Leafs have the head-to-head advantage, 4-2 over the Baycats in the season series, so that would be the tiebreaker if they ended up with identical records.
Of course, that second week, I believe, would move right into playoff time, so it might not be as light as it looks on the calendar.
Mullen is aboard. Starling Joseph, the right fielder, will come to the plate.
But next week, for sure, looks to be a very light
Right
one
fielder number 7,
for the Baycats.
Starling Joseph.
You can see the whole schedule on barriebaycats.com and on our Instagram. It's pinned at the top.
Joseph 1 for 1 today. First pitch swinging, chops it foul down the 3rd base line. It's always fun when your first round play or any round playoff opponent is a geographic rival as Toronto and Barrie are, because you got a lot of fans that travel both ways for those games. I'm sure a lot of Baycat fans will head down the 400. And
are you going to make it down to any of those playoff games?
as many as I can. Hop on the subway and enjoy some playoff baseball down at the legendary Christie Pitts.
But before we get there, there will be an away game in Welland and a home game right here to finish off the season against the Brantford Red Sox.
1 ball, 1 strike to Joseph. Benitez slowing things down now. Comes set. The leg kick and the 1-1. High and tight. And it's 2 balls and a strike.
You think about Josh Cote playing first base in this game. I wonder if that helps him toward playoff eligibility. He's playing a position that he doesn't normally play, but he's a good first baseman, and it might help him toward getting that playoff minimum, getting on that playoff roster, because he arrived pretty late in the season.
Ducking out of the way of that one is Joseph. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out in the inning. We're in the top of the 3rd. Mullen at first, takes the lead. Cote holds him on. Benitez comes set. Plumped in the target. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Juan Benitez, and the Majors strand another runner. We're through 2.5 innings. London on top 2-1. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
No errors and 1 left on base. All right, Baycats fans, I'd like to introduce you to our latest winner of our contest, sponsored by Rock 95. She will lead us through the Baycats' 3rd inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Final one of the regular season. Your Baycat that'll be joining us right now. Her name is
We're in the 3rd inning. It's brought to you by First Aid Canada, your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Here comes Carson Burns, the leadoff hitter today, and he's leading off for the 2nd time here this afternoon. Doubled and scored the first run of the afternoon for the Baycats in the 1st inning. Beautiful, warm Saturday afternoon here in Midhurst, 23-degree game time temperature. Just a little bit of cloud cover right now.
Backing up his pitcher is what Carson Burns did in the 1st inning after Juan Benitez got off to a bit of a rough start in the 1st inning, giving up 2 runs. Burns swung a pitch early and got that big double, ended up scoring. and giving Benitez the confidence to throw 2 scoreless innings afterwards.
Yeah, that's really something you look for in a strong lineup, is that you can pick up your pitcher as you described it and provide a little bit of offense to keep the game from getting out of reach. And London certainly could have added more on there, but Benitez settled down quite nicely after the 2-run homer was hit by Robert Mullen. This is a team that can score a lot of runs, as we mentioned, 32 in their last 2 games. One ball, 2 strikes to Carson Burns. Here's the pitch from Jose Arias. Strike 3 call.
Jeff
3
Rose
strikeouts in a row for Arias.
Jeff Rose is not bringing in his big strike 3 call early on in this one. It takes an extra
it's
second
hot.
to
It's
know.
a Saturday. It's afternoon, you know. Some umpires really have that demonstrative called 3rd strike.
Tom
Jeff
Hallion.
Rose is not one of them. At least today. Barrie native Ryan Rio couldn't check his swing, and it's 0-1. Rio moved to the number 2 spot in the order against the Welland Jackfish on Thursday night, and it worked out pretty good for him.
I think it was Tom Hallion. I was watching Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy talk about how much they enjoyed that strike 3 call from him.
Rio lines that one right into the glove of Daniel Perrier, 2 away. And here comes Branfi Infante, the 3rd baseman.
The 3rd baseman, number 8, Branfi Infante.
Do you have a favorite Major League umpire?
I mean, there are some umpires that consistently do a good job, and those are usually the ones you don't talk about nearly as much.
Yeah, your favorite umpires are the ones you don't know.
Yeah.
You mentioned Angel Hernandez or Joe West. Those are all the guys that, unfortunately, those are the names you recognize.
There are some umpires that do a continuously good job that you know, though. In this league, Jeff Rose has one of the better strike zones. It can get a little bit small at times, but it's mostly consistent throughout the whole game.
Branfi Infante singled home Barrie's lone run so far today in the bottom of the 1st inning. Takes a high fastball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. This is the last of 6 regular season matchups between the Majors and Baycats. London 3-2 through 5. Baycats looking to equalize the season series at 3 apiece with a win here today. And a foul tip into the glove, strike 2.
Didn't miss the strikeout by much.
Arias has struck out 3 of his last 4. $113 strikeouts coming into today. Add another one there, and down go the Baycats. 3 up, 3 down in the 3rd. We go to the top of the 4th inning. It's 2-1 Majors. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared.
Fans, the next home game for the Barrie Baycats is Sunday, August 21st against the Brantford Red Sox. That's at 7 o'clock p.m., and it will be the final regular season home game of the season for the Baycats. You can get your tickets at barriebaycats.com/tickets or watch right here on Baycats TV. Juan Benitez back out there on the hill, pitching his practice pitches to Tyler Plumpton. He'll be facing off against the middle of the majors lineup, Byron Reichstein, Drew Lawrence, and Dan Perrier. Fourth inning brought to you by Centerfield Foods, feeding fans and families at the Barrie Community Sports Complex since 2005. Centerfield Foods. Here's Ben Davey.
Thank you, Patrick. Byron Reichstein is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout to end the bottom of the first inning. And he'll bat here to lead off the fourth against Dominican right-hander Juan Benitez. The full windup, and he starts Reichstein off with a called strike. Benitez in his second IBL season takes this one right back off a bounce, throws to first and plenty of time for the out. Juan Benitez, quick as a cat on the mound, one away.
The center fielder, number 14, Drew Lawrence.
Andrew Lawrence in his first IBL season, 33rd game here this afternoon, and he's up there first pitch swinging, and he fouls it over our heads.
Benitez threw 94 pitches in his last game, 64 for strikes, 30 for balls. He only went to 4 innings, so looking to get much farther than that today.
Yeah, this is definitely a bounce back start for him.
Just to repeat that, and I believe I was a little bit farther from the mic than I meant to be. Benitez threw 94 pitches in his last game, 64 for strikes, 30 for balls. Only went 4 innings in that one, hoping to get a lot further into the game today.
Certainly showing much better form here this afternoon.
And now I'm going to ruin the illusion of what I said where I was far from the mic. What happened was I forgot to turn on my mic. So, sorry about that.
Swing and a miss. 2 quick outs here, and it brings up Dan Perrier. 5 strikeouts already for Juan Benitez.
Yeah, he's rebounded well after giving up that early home run.
Pretty safe to say we'll be getting more than 4 innings out of him today.
Baycats certainly hope so.
Perrier, one of 5 strikeout victims. He'll
Baycats
bat here with 2 out in the 4th.
Always look for around 7 innings from Juan Benitez on the hill. 5 innings minimum, but 7 innings ideally.
Juan was 5-2 last year for the Baycats. This season 6-5, has the ERA at 4.93.
Bullpen well rested though. A few off games in the last few days, and then a couple of days ago with Frank Garces on the mound, nobody needed out of that bullpen. So
all arms are available, at least those that are here. Over near the Barrie dugout, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
Saw Aiden Russell warming up a little bit, just not warming up in the bullpen, but warming up pregame. So he's here. He might pitch an inning at some point.
Perrier hits this into right field. It's a base hit. That'll keep the inning alive for the number 9 hitter, Keith Candell. 4th hit of the afternoon for the majors off of Juan Benitez.
The shortstop, number 12, Keith Candell.
So Candell will bat with 2 away. Candell drew a walk in the 2nd inning. Cote holding on Perrier at first. Perrier with just 1 stolen base so far this year. Pitch to Candell. That's a called strike. 1-1 to the shortstop. This is Candel's 4th IBL organization. He's been with the Majors since 2016. Started his career in Kitchener with the Panthers. Had a couple of years in Guelph and the Burlington Bandits, and now with London. Hails from Fresno, California. 2-1 pitch, runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw from Plumpton, and it's not in time. Does he stay on the bag? Yes, he does.
Throw is low, a little bit late.
Second stolen base of the season for Dan Perrier. Still early in this ball game, but gets him into scoring position now with 2 away. And a chance for Keith Candel to add an insurance marker here. Benitez gets the sign, checks the runner, and the pitch. Left field, Anderson to his right, reaches up, makes the catch. Majors strand a runner at second, and we go to the bottom of the 4th inning with London still on top, 2-1. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Jose Arias and the London Majors on top of the Baycats by a score of 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Barrie sending up Anderson, McQuinn, and Plumpton.
Leading off the board for the Baycats, left fielder number 34, James Anderson.
Third base coach Andrew White having a chat with Majors manager Rup Chanderdat over in front of the London dugout. Cordial conversation it looks like, and we get ready here for the bottom of the 4th inning. Anderson today 0 for 1. 2 runs, 4 hits for London, 1 run, 3 hits for Barrie. Majors have stranded 4, Baycats have stranded 2. Anderson fouls away the first pitch, strike 1.
It's not the easiest field conditions to be able to see the ball off the bat, so you might see that factor in a little bit on those pop-ups. It's a very bright day.
Outside corner, a strike, 0-2 to Anderson. Jose Arias with the pitch. Change up, Line to shortstop Keith Candell. Takes it on a couple of hops and fires it to first for the out. Brad McQuinn, who we heard between innings, is celebrating her birthday today.
Happy birthday. We've got some interesting walk-up music on this team, don't we?
Swing and a miss. The helmet comes off. He was looking for Highway 26 with that rip. 0-1 to Brad McQuinn. So McQuinn now 28 years old, but according to his bio on the Point Streak website, it has his birthday as August 10th, so he actually celebrated on Wednesday, I guess. Nonetheless, a happy extended birthday to him. Penetang native in his first season here in Barrie with the Baycats. Arias' pitch on the ground to second. Fielded cleanly by Newton. Over to first in time for the out. This London team is as solid as they come defensively. Even those hard hit balls. See how confident the infielders are. And now Plumpton will bat with 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. See, this sounds like a Broadway show tune. I don't know if Plumpton picked this one out himself, or is this one of those?
No, he picked it out. He's had this one all year, so it's not a placeholder one.
Called strike 0-1. Well, I guess it's worked for him pretty well. He's hitting .352.
Yeah, you don't want to change your walk-up song when you're hitting .352.
You could play the Sesame Street theme if you're hitting .352. Whatever works.
Well, the problem, and we've seen the SpongeBob theme, we've seen some other themes used as placeholders when
Who
hitters
had
first.
SpongeBob? Was that Owen Jansen?
Well, it's used when guys come over here and they don't pick their walk-up song in time sometimes. So the problem with
That'll
that
show 'em.
is if they show up and they go 4 for 4 with SpongeBob, they're not going to want to change it. They're going to want it to be SpongeBob all year long.
Kids don't mind. Adds to the fan experience. Plumpton ahead 2-1 here. Pitch from Jose Arias inside, and the count is 3-1. What a turnaround season for Tyler Plumpton, who hit .220 last year for the Baycats in 14 games. Played about half the schedule. Fouls this one away, and the count is full 3-2.
By the way, the hitter who walked up to SpongeBob once earlier this season was Mike DeWin.
Was sorry?
Mike DeWin.
Oh, it was DeWin.
Because DeWin doesn't typically play a lot of home games. So he was playing that home game and didn't have a walk-up. And that's what happens.
3-2 from Arias. Ball 4. Plumpton keeps the inning alive. Josh Cote singled in the second. He'll bat here with 2 away in the 4th. Cote coming into the game hitting just .095, but 2 homers and 4 RBIs. And got on base early in this one in the 2nd inning. Playing in just his 6th game. Tyler Plumpton, not a threat to steal. No attempts so far this season. Of course, I say that, and he'll probably be off with this pitch.
He's got average speed.
Does not go. Swing and a miss.
Curveball curved away from Cote as it moved across the plate. Good pitch.
And this is what makes Jose Arias so effective, is that he keeps the hitters guessing at the plate. You don't know whether you're going to see that flame-throwing fastball or a breaking pitch or something that he slows right down.
Such a good pitch mix, and he'll use any pitch into any count.
You get inside the mind of the hitter, and sometimes that little bit of extra guesswork can be just enough to throw them off. Wipes his brow.
I wonder if we'll see him play with the timing between pitches, like we've seen with so many of the other top pitchers in the IBL this season.
2-1. Fouled away.
Fastball that time.
Arias looking for his 10th win of the season. We saw Jake Harford get his 10th win for Welland a couple of weeks ago here at Vintage Throne Stadium. And then the Baycats beat him the following game. 9-1 with a 1.52 ERA. Some of the best numbers in the league this year. 2-2 pitch. Inside, they appeal at first. He did not go, says first base umpire Isaac Zivchuk.
Frank Garces now in the conversation of best starters in the IBL this year. 2.17 ERA across 4 starts. 35 Ks and 29 innings pitched.
Heading into the playoffs, he's part of the Big Four for sure. Although when you look at the season stats, unfortunately for Garces, just didn't arrive early enough in the season to really get a lot of consideration for IBL Pitcher of the Year. But if he was here, oh, there goes Plumpton. Oh, the count was full, that's why. 3-2, and it's ball 4.
So is that a stolen base technically?
No.
He went early.
The second baseman, number 7.
Take second on the walk, so back-to-back walks, Plumpton and Cote.
He won't, but he should get a stolen base for that. That was a stolen base.
Ha! You think he would have swiped it?
Well, they didn't try to get him. Claudio Custodio, by the way, this season with the Guelph Royals, 9-0 with a 2.35 ERA in 14 games, 170 strikeouts and 103 innings pitched, 21 walks.
Arias had 130 coming into today, and let's see, 5 strikeouts today gives him 118. He's not going to catch Claudio.
Nobody's going to catch Claudio. I mean, 170 strikeouts is just unbelievable. When he was the best pitcher in the league in 2017 with the Baycats, he only had 80 strikeouts in the regular season that year. Of course, 10 starts. It was a shorter regular season back then. But even if you add on his playoff numbers to 99 strikeouts, it's still not approaching the 170 from this season.
Could you imagine a starting rotation of Custodio, Arias, Harford, and Garces? Just imagine.
That would be pretty good. Then maybe,
you wouldn't even need a bullpen, probably.
And then maybe Owen Boone or Juan Benitez in the 5.
Yeah. Seen some real dominant pitching, and it's been spread out across the league. High and shallow. And trotting underneath that is the second baseman for the out, and that will do it. So, down go the Baycats. They strand 2. And we're through 4 innings here at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's a 2-1 London lead. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
No hits, no errors, and 2 left on base.
Gets lost in some of this.
Hey, Baycats fans, we've had pitchers here at the ballpark this afternoon strike out 5 or more opposing hitters in this.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Douse is one of them, along with Phoenix Green and Brady Ari. Congratulations to those 3 junior Baycats. Claim your prizes at the front gate of the ballpark.
Fifth inning brought to you by Etal Paving for all of your residential, commercial, industrial paving needs, providing quality service for over 37 years because you deserve the best. And I finished that before Rob even started, so good on me. Jacob Newton will lead things off in the inning with Taylor Wright and Cleveland Brownlee behind him as we begin the 5th inning of play. Here's Ben Davey.
All right, thank you, Patrick. Newton is 0 for 2 today. Juan Benitez back out for his 5th inning of work here. And he gets the called strike.
Baycats would like to thank all of their partners throughout the 2022 season, including Etal Paving, our inning partner for this inning.
Collie to Cote, and there's one away.
So great to have so many local partners for the Baycats.
Taylor Wright today 1 for 2.
Third baseman number 29.
Had a big double and scored the game's first run in the top of the 1st inning.
I just noticed that is a big water bottle you have here today. Like a big water bottle.
Yeah, it's glass, so I don't have to replace it. I like it. What is it, 800 milliliters?
It's like double the size of mine.
I try to pound back about 3 or 4 of those a day, especially in the summertime. This one hit high, foul territory, running over Cote, a long way to go, and it's out of his reach. Count is 1-1 to Taylor Wright.
Nice as well to have the Junior Baycats Day partners with Moonwalk Entertainment and Cool FM, Barrie 360 here. Rock 95. Got the Bounty Castle slide, it looks like, in the Rock 95 tent with the Connect 4 style game.
It says here Juan Benitez pitch count is at 82. It doesn't seem like it. 50 strikes, 32 balls. 1-2 pitch on the ground to second. Backhanded by Collie. Over to first. A pair of 4-3 putouts here to start the 5th inning.
And Ben, having the Junior Baycats days this season, a consistent thing during the early Saturday games, has been, I think, really great for everybody.
Been a lot of fun, and the kids love all of the games and interactive activities around the park here. Of course, the chance to run the bases after the game is always a thrill for the youngsters as well.
You should get out there and run the bases after the game.
Well, I was out there with my my nieces and my nephew when they were here visiting. Nice backhand play by Burns. Long throw. Up high. The tag applied. Not in time. Just missing the tag, I think, was Cote. He made a great effort.
That should be an E6. Carson Burns normally such a great shortstop, but that play got away from him.
Tough one. He made a nice backhanded play to get the ball and just uncorked a high throw. Cote made a nice leaping effort.
He sure
came
did.
down with it. And I think if he had have applied the tag, he probably would have got Brownlee, but...
Well, if he hadn't got to that ball, then Brownlee might have ended up at second base.
Brownlee having a career year, hitting .388. This one hit to the left side, and that'll go through between the shortstop and third baseman. Back-to-back base runners here for the Majors in the 5th. Starling Joseph comes to the plate. And Andrew White out for a visit with Juan Benitez.
There is someone warming in the bullpen. It looks kind of like Brad Grieveson from this angle. Can't be. Yeah, it is Brad Grieveson warming up in the bullpen.
Well, we mentioned his pitch count in the mid-80s, so you're probably not going to get a whole lot more out of him, even though we're only in the 5th inning. It feels like he's been pretty efficient with his pitches, but once that pitch count starts getting close to 100, you got to start.
Well, you wonder if this is his final inning, and then they just go to Brad for the rest of the game. Get them both warmed up and ready for the playoffs as starting pitchers potentially, or at least guys who can go long innings. I don't know if Brad's going to be out of the rotation, but he's the guy who can come in from the bullpen and give you plenty of innings.
Right fielder number 7, Starling Joseph.
Starling Joseph has 34 RBIs in 38 games, hitting .353, a dangerous hitter in the middle part of this order for the London Majors. Juan Benitez, first offering. It's in the dirt, blocked by Plumpton. And Joseph dropped the bat. Wonder if that might have bounced up and hit him. Looks like he's okay.
I was just saying, by the way, off air, that Owen Boone of the London Majors, and I think Majors fans maybe were thinking about this as we listed off the best pitchers in the league last inning. Boone is right there with them, 8-0 this season with a 3.20 ERA, 93 strikeouts and 67 in the 3rd innings. So there are 5, or perhaps even more, elite pitchers in this league.
Benitez in a jam here with 2 on, 2 out in the 5th. Here's the pitch, and this one hit a ton. Deep left field. That's a no-doubter. And probably comes awfully close to Highway 26. Starling Joseph absolutely rocked that ball over the left field trees. A 3-run homer and a monstrous blast puts London on top, 5-1.
Hanging off speed in the zone, and Joseph got the no-doubt home run off of it.
If the kids are going to chase that one down, they got a long way to go.
They sure do.
And keep them away from the highway.
That was hit a ton.
Left fielder number 48, Byron Reichstein.
It's one of the deepest balls we've seen hit here at Vintage Throne Stadium this season. For Joseph, his 9th home run of the season. And that one, a big one, as it brings 2 in ahead of him.
And Benitez, who's having quite a nice day before that hit, has now given up 5 runs in 4 2/3 innings.
He had retired 6 of 7 prior to the error by Carson Burns.
He'd been really good since the first inning ended.
This one hit pretty deep. Left field, Anderson backpedaling, back near the fence, and that ball is gone. 3 home runs for the Majors today. A solo shot by Byron Reichstein makes it 6-1 London.
And Brad Gravison's going to enter this game.
Second mound visit, and it looks like Andrew White will have the hook when he arrives. So a tough outing for Juan Benitez, who looked pretty good through 4 2/3. The error comes back to haunt the Baycats. Throwing error by Carson Burns, a base hit and a pair of home runs to follow. Juan gets a nice hand as he comes off the hill. But unfortunately, things just did not go his way in the 5th inning. So the Baycats go to the bullpen as Brad Grevison will take over at this point. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
As Brad Grevison enters the game, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here on Baycats TV. 3 games across the IBL today. London over Barrie as of right now, 6-1 after the back-to-back home runs by Starling Joseph and Byron Reichstein. Here in the 5th inning, the other 2 games, Toronto Maple Leafs are in Guelph to face off against the Guelph Royals at 7:30 p.m. And the Welland Jackfish facing off against the Brantford Red Sox in Brantford at 8 o'clock p.m. All of these games featuring teams at the top of the standings, London, Welland, and Guelph all playing, as well as the Toronto Maple Leafs, who look to be the most likely matchup in the playoffs for the Barrie Baycats. So big playoff it matters for the playoffs all the way around these 3 games. On the scoreboard, fans, Baycats Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Baycats. From jerseys, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and fan gear, Baycats Shop has it all. We'll be back in just a moment with Brad Grieveson on the mound right here on Baycats TV.
Number 14, Drew
Brad
Lawrence.
Grieveson on the pitch for the Baycats with 2 out in the top of the 5th inning, and Drew Lawrence will bat with the bases empty and 2 away. Lawrence 0 for 2 today. First pitch from Grieveson is a called strike. Grieveson, 41 years old, also serves as the team's pitching coach and has been very effective on the mound as well this year. 6'1", 230. Had a big outing here against Welland. Went 6 innings here last week. This one hit to the gap. And over to pick it up is Juan Familia. That's a single for Drew Lawrence. 5 straight majors to reach base here in this 5th inning. Highlighted by back-to-back home runs by Starling Joseph and Byron Reichstein.
First baseman number 15, Dan Perrier.
6-1 London. Dan Perrier now, the first baseman, will be the 8th major to bat in this inning. Pitch is a called strike. Keith Candell, the shortstop, is on deck. Righty-righty matchup. Grieveson from the stretch. 0-1. Outside, and the count is even. Lawrence with 9 stolen bases this season. He's held on by Josh Cote at first base. Grieveson now with a throw to first, and back head first is Lawrence. Brad has a good pickoff move for a right-hander. See how big a lead Lawrence takes here. 2 out in the inning. Does not go. Pitch is high. 2 balls and a strike. And he draws another throw.
Grieveson this season, 2.50 ERA and 36 innings pitched. He has 44 strikeouts in that time.
Made his first start of the season against Welland last week, and another throw over. And another head-first dive by Drew Lawrence.
Drew Lawrence can run. You can understand why they're so eager to get him off the base paths if possible.
Here's the pitch. Foul back. And the count is even, 2-2. A 4-run 5th here for the Majors, putting them on top 6-1 over the Baycats. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Runner goes. Ball 3, no throw down. And Lawrence takes second uncontested. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Dan Perrier goes down swinging to end the fifth, but not before the Majors explode for 4 runs, highlighted by back-to-back home runs by Starling Joseph and Byron Reichstein. We're through 4.5. It's London 6, Barrie 1. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. With Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davey. We are heading to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. London Majors looking for their 4th win over the Baycats in 2022. And they're comfortably on top today by a score of 6-1. Number 9 hitter Juan Familia to lead it off. Carson Burns to follow, and Ryan Rio due up third. Jose Arias has allowed just 3 Baycat hits in this ball game. First pitch, and it's fouled behind us. 6 runs, 8 hits for the Majors. 1 run, 3 hits for the Baycats. 1 error in the ball game, and that to Barrie shortstop Carson Burns. 55 pitches for Jose Arias, so he was about 30 pitches or so behind Juan Benitez, just to give you an idea on the pitch count contrast. Even the two of them were neck and neck in that 2-1 ball game, but Benitez was going a lot deeper in counts than Arias was, obviously.
Arias had a very quick 3rd inning.
38 strikes, 19 balls. When you've thrown 57 pitches and less than 20 of them are balls, that's pretty effective pitching. 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss as Familia chased a bad one. Tosses the bat, trots to first, in time is the throw from Robert Mullen. That will complete the strikeout, and it is Arias' 6th of the afternoon. Carson Burns with a strikeout and a double today. Foul at home plate. Arias had just 4 strikeouts in that game last Saturday a week ago, that 7-3 loss to the Royals. 6 strikeouts today here in the 5th. Burns swinging, left side. should be playable. Tyler Wright in foul territory makes the catch. 2 away in the inning.
The designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio.
Rio is 0 for 2 this afternoon.
Still getting comments today about how Ryan Rio's big first inning home run in that last game was so impressive.
And that was his first game in the number 2 spot in the lineup, which I know you really like.
I do really like that. I think it's a good place in the batting order for him.
He's back there again today, although 0 for 2 so far.
You were interested to see Carson Burns in the leadoff spot.
Yeah. That guy that usually hits a little farther down near the bottom of the order, but Rio with a strikeout and a lineout today. Hit the ball hard in his last at bat. Center field, that's going to stay in the park. Drew Lawrence makes the catch. Baycats go 3 up, 3 down for the second time this afternoon. Patrick will call the 6th and the 7th. When we return, it's a 6-1 London lead. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie, or revivemedspa.ca.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Brad Grieveson back to the hill for the Baycats in the 6th inning. It's brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house. And back to the mic for the 6th and 7th innings today is Patrick Mumble.
Keith Candell will lead things off. Jacob Newton behind him, and then Taylor Wright. The two-hitter is behind him. Keith Candell has walked and flown out today. Another guy in this order. It feels like it's full of them where they could be leading off in this batting order, or in that 2 spot. Facing off for the first time today against Brad Grieveson, the right-hander, and the first pitch is a strike, 0-1. Grieveson entered the game in the middle of the 5th inning, right after the second home run, which closed the book on Juan Benitez for this one, as it's flown out foul right side. Benitez finishes today with 4.2 innings pitched, 6 runs on 7 hits. Only 2 of them earned. Because of that error by Carson Burns. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. He faced 24 hitters. That one's up and in. Can't now 1 and 2.
Keith Candell, a member of that 2021 championship team in London last year.
Ground ball to the right side. That's going to get through for a base hit. Candell leads off the inning with a single to right.
Had a nice year for the majors last season, hitting .304. 27 ball games. It's a shortened schedule last year in 30 ball games, and Candell was in the lineup all but 3 of those games.
Jacob Newton, just about the only hitter in this batting order to not reach base today. I think literally the only, as I'm looking down my sheet. He's the only one to not reach base at all today. Cleveland Brownlee has only reached via an error, but he has reached base, so that leaves Newton as the only one still hoping to get on base. Newton 0 for 3 so far with 2 groundouts and a flyout. Getting .368 though. Majors leading the Baycats 6-1 here in the 6th inning. Grieveson waiting as Newton gets his sign from third base, and it was taking a bit of a long time. Grieveson really not moving at all. Candell taking the lead off first. He's got some speed, and he goes. Fouled off. Candell would have had that base stolen. Stepping back in is Grieveson, as is Jacob Newton, who now has his sign on how to approach this at-bat against the veteran right-hander Grieveson. We know that Candell can run and has tried to run in this at-bat. We'll see if he goes again with this pitch. They go over to first. They had the same idea.
You look at this London team and you think, well, defending IBL champions, you just kind of expect that they're going to be in the mix again this season. But checking the lineup today, 6 of the 9 hitters in the lineup are players that were not a part of the 2021 Championship Club. All 6 of them in their first season here in London. Newton being one of those 6. Taylor Wright, Robert Mullen, first-year player, Starling Joseph, Drew Lawrence, and Dan Perrier, all in their first season here with London in 2022.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That's outside. It is a very different looking London Majors. It's almost surprising, actually, if you look around the IBL, a lot of these teams look more different than you would think than last year's versions of these teams. Obviously, the big one for Welland was Gio Morello at the top of their order. He was with Brantford last season. Here's the 2-2. Runner going, and that's hit on the ground to the right side, and that will get through. Almost the same spot as the Candell hit. Candell over to third. It's a base hit for Jacob Newton. And they have 2 on with nobody out here in the 6th.
And a smart move to get Candell in motion with that pitch as that gets him to third base. It puts runners on the corners now with 2 out and a chance for London to really pour it on here, already up by 5 runs. Still nobody out here in this 6th inning. But Candell being off with that pitch, that got him in motion and gave him plenty of time to get all the way to third.
Taylor Wright doubled in the first and ended up scoring on that Robert Mullen home run. The Majors have hit 3 home runs today. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters have all homered. Grieveson waiting, now comes home, and that is a fly ball to right field. And McQuinn misjudged it. It's going way farther back than he thought, and it's going all the way to the wall. 1 run is in, as it's going to be extra bases for Wright. Up to third goes Newton. Candell scores, and it was just misjudged in right field by McQuinn. He lost it in the sky. I mentioned that could be a factor as it's extremely bright, and the Majors have gone up 7-1.
Well, Newton was off at the pitch, and it kind of looked like it might have been a bit of a decoy by McQuinn. Maybe that's what I was thinking, because Newton thought McQuinn might have had a play on that ball, and he ended up running back to first. And then when he realized McQuinn had misplayed it, he was able to turn on the afterburners and get himself all the way over to third base.
They'll call it an error in right field to Brad McQuinn. So 2nd error by the Baycats today. And there are runners on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out here in the 6th inning and a run already in. Here's Cleveland Brownlee. Brownlee reached on an error to shortstop last time up and ended up scoring on that homer by Starling Joseph.
Even though McQuinn lost that ball in the sky, somehow the sun's actually kind of behind him, so he didn't really lose it in the sun. But just the cloud cover or whatever might have messed up his
cloud cover,
view.
the brightness. Up the middle, base hit Brownlee. 1 run's going to come in. That's Jacob Newton. Another run coming in behind him. It'll be a play at the plate. It's cut off by Cote, so he'll score easily. A 2-run single for the veteran Cleveland Brownlee, who's putting up MVP-level numbers, and it's 9-1.
Well, this one getting ugly in a hurry. The Majors really pouring it on. 4 runs in the 5th and now 3 in the 6th. Still nobody out. And errors proving costly. I mean, it was an error that really kept that 5th inning going. And back-to-back home runs, 4 runs total in that 5th after they had 2 outs. And now an error to Brad McQuinn, and London with 3 here in the 6th.
Mullen pops it up. Colley under it. He'll make the catch. Brownlee can't advance. It's a pop out for Mullen, 1 away.
But my point, just to finish with that ball that McQuinn lost in the sky, somehow, even if he did have a read on it, I'm not sure he would have made the catch. It was all the way back against the fence. Still might have been a tough catch for him to make back there. Could have been playable, but
Right fielder, number 7.
any ball that close to the fence is going to be a tricky catch to make.
Here's Joseph. Joseph homered. He's also doubled and struck out. That's fouled back to the ad board. The homer by Starling Joseph was a 3-run home run. And he can sure play. He is a very, very good hitter. That's a strike. Joseph now hitting .359 this season. 53 hits, 34 runs batted in 150 at-bats. Grieveson ready. Glove by the chest, has a sign from Plumpton and comes home. And that is just up and away, 2-2. Mullen homered in the first, Joseph homered in the 5th, and then Reichstein went back-to-back with him. Hit to Colley, could be 2, back to first, and they got him! And that'll end the inning. The Majors, though, add 3, and they're up 9-1 heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and the Barrie Baycats on Rogers TV Barrie. Jose Arias finishing his warm-up tosses as we're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Let's listen to Branfy Infante introduced.
Leading off the 6th inning for the Baycats, third baseman number 8, Branfy Infante.
It'll be Infante, then James Anderson and Brad McQuinn here in the 6th inning. Infante 1 for 2. He singled at an RBI. That scored Carson Burns for the lone Baycats run so far. That was in the 1st inning. First pitch to him is a foul tip back into the glove, 0-1.
Well, at the risk of pointing out the obvious, the Baycats just flat out need to do better at the plate than they've done. They have not had a hit since the 2nd inning. Just 3 hits in this ball game.
Popped up. Shallow fly ball into left center field. Moving in is Drew Lawrence. And that's the first out.
You're playing some awfully tough teams here. London Majors, top of the standings. Another game against Welland coming up next weekend. They played Welland twice in the last couple of weeks prior to today. And the offense has just been pretty cold. 11 runs in their last 5 games for the Baycats, and only one game of those 5 where they scored more than 3 runs. And against a tough team like London and one of the league's best pitchers, Jose Arias.
That's hit to left center field. That one's deep, going back to the wall, and it's going to go off the wall. Extra bases for James Anderson as he rounds first into second. It's a 1-out double for Anderson.
We'll see if the Baycats can build some momentum on that. James Anderson now 1 for 3. Baycats have had base runners. They got the 2 walks off Arias in the 4th, but that's their first hit since Josh Cote singled in the 2nd inning.
Here's McQuinn. He's 0 for 2 today. Looking for a big hit to try and get a second or third run up on the board for the Baycats. Here it is from Arias, and that's down and in. Gets away from Mullen, but he's got control of it before Anderson can move up an extra base.
66 pitches for Jose Arias now, and just to give you an idea, that total's still lower than Juan Benitez finished with, so he's keeping that pitch count low, and that's allowed him to pitch into these late innings.
Up and away. Getting out 2-0. McQuinn, who does not wear batting gloves and has the high socks, gets the pitch from Arias and fouls that one back to the screen.
Back-to-back hitters here without gloves. Plumpton, same thing. He likes that skin on wood.
Now, when you bat, do you wear batting gloves?
Well, I'm not hitting anything that's thrown particularly hard, so no. Usually when I'm playing, church softball or something like that.
Here it comes from Jose Arias. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Second time McQuinn's lost his helmet on a swing today. Really wants to put that ball in play. A lot of work to do here, down by 8.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Brad McQuinn. Kicks and throws. And that's down and in again, now 3-2 to McQuinn. Baycats have a runner on second. 1 out here in the 6th inning.
Got a right-hander starting to toss in the London bullpen now. Might be Anderson Acevedo.
Here's the 3-2. And that's fouled. Weakly fouled right behind the plate. Still 3-2.
Well, this is the hottest the sun's been this afternoon now.
Sure is.
It's been really playing hide and seek with the clouds today. We had cloud cover for a couple of innings and still some clouds in the sky, but the sun's just burning right through. Pretty hot right now.
32 and 40.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. And again, fouled off right above the dugout for the London Majors.
That one hit the screen and somehow caromed through. I don't know if that went through an opening in part of the screen or...
It must have, yeah.
Because I saw the screen move.
32 and 40 in the bullpen, just so you know. 32 and 40.
And souvenir for the kids. And
another 3-2 to Brad McQuinn. And another foul off. Good at bat here for Brad.
We can confirm it is Anderson Acevedo warming up in the bullpen along with Bull Lewington. We'll see how much longer Root Chandradat goes with Jose Arias, who's pitched a very good ball game again here this afternoon.
Currently at 77 pitches. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That is strike 3. On the inside part of the strike zone, 2nd out of the inning.
Catcher number 44, Tyler Plumpton.
Here's Plumpton. as a butterfly moves its way around the stadium. First pitch to Plumpton is a ball. He walked his last time up in the fourth, has also flown out in the second. Count 1-0. And he swings and misses at a pitch upstairs in the zone, 2-0.
Jose Arias pitching a little bit similar to the way Frank Garces did here on Thursday night. The base runners he's been allowing have not been consecutive, and it's kept the Baycats from really getting a lot of momentum off of here. Garces was just absolutely dominant, going a complete game against the Jackfish here on Thursday night.
Looking for strike two on the 1-1. Doesn't get it, 2-1.
Garces actually had a no-hitter going until Patrick jinxed it, and then he had a shutout going until I jinxed it. So, but the Baycats won, so no harm, no foul. It's a 3-1 ball game for Barrie over Welland here on Thursday.
Here's the 2-1. Left field, it gets down for a base hit. Rounding third is Anderson. He'll stay there. It's going to be a long single for Plumpton. Runners on the corners now with 2 out.
Well, Byron Reichstein, the veteran left fielder, did not charge that ball, and I think maybe in hindsight he may wish he did, as that ball that Plumpton hit maybe held up a little bit longer than he thought it might have. Ends up landing in front of him as he elected to take it on a bounce, and it keeps this chance for the Baycats going here now with runners on the corners.
Here's Josh Cote. He's been on base both times up today. He's walked and singled. First pitch to him is a strike right in the middle of the zone. It's 0-1.
Now, Cote has some power. 2 home runs in 5 games.
Well, they both came in the first game, and they both came in his first 2 official at-bats in the IBL this season against Brantford.
I'm really interested in seeing if he can successfully build on that as we head through the regular season and into the playoffs. He could be a valuable part of this Baycat lineup.
Check swing didn't go, and it is 1-1.
Sometimes it's just a matter of getting your feet wet and starting to get things all together before things start to fall into place for you. If this guy can hit the long ball, that's going to be a huge addition for this Baycat lineup.
Another guy without batting gloves. That's 3 in a row.
Yeah, you're right.
Does he have
Quinn,
one
Plumpton,
on?
and Cote.
I think he might have one batting glove on.
Oh, yeah, he's got one on the left.
Yeah, but he doesn't have one on the backhand. Swings and misses, 1-2. Runner taking the lead off first. That's Plumpton. That's down and away.
Now, this is a lineup today without Owen Jansen, without Noel McGarry-Doyle, who's away for a while. They hope to have him back for the playoffs. Jake Wilson not here today. So, I mean, those are 3 of your best hitters not in the lineup, and really put some pressure on these secondary guys, the Josh Cotes and the Brad McQuins and others, to step up and fill those vacancies in the lineup.
2-2. Here it comes. Fouled right back.
Now, you really want to have your whole lineup together, ideally against a team like London and Welland and some of these big games the Baycats are playing down the stretch here. And once the playoffs get going, that's kind of all hands on deck, and anybody that is available will be here.
2-2 the count to Josh Cote. Arias staring in for the sign. He's got it. Looks in as Mullen sets up right in the zone, and it's bounced to the plate, so it's 3-2. Missed a spot.
Good patience by Cote. Looked like he thought about chasing it, and he was able to hold up and check his swing on that ball in the dirt. Jose Arias, we mentioned how sneaky he is, trying to get Cote to chase one there, and he didn't. I would imagine he'll come back at him with a fastball here on the 3-2. We'll see.
Cote hoping to walk for the second time today, hoping to reach for the third time today. Also hoping to homer for the first time today. 3-2 the count. Popped up, right side, moving over is Dan Perrier. He's got it. He'll make the catch, and that will end the inning. A pop out for Josh Cote. We're heading to the 7th. It is 9-1 for the London Majors. You're watching Baycats TV and the Barrie Baycats on Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared.
Seventh inning of play brought to you by hot rolls by Subs. Save 5.
Aiden Russell on to pitch for the Barrie Baycats. Third pitcher of the day, Ben Davey.
Russell, 20 years old, a Barrie native. He stands 6'3", 230 pounds. He's a big left-hander for a young arm. Second season here with the Baycats.
He'll be facing off against Byron Reichstein, Drew Lawrence, and Dan Perrier.
0-1 last year for Barrie. This season 1-0 with a 2.40 ERA. He's one of the most reliable arms for Josh Matlow out of the bullpen this year.
Pitch inside to Reichstein, 2-0. He homered his last time up, 1 for 3.
Strikeout to walk ratio, 16 strikeouts, 7 walks, 15 innings of work.
That's a strike. Count now 2-1.
As reliable as Russell has been, he's not a guy who's going to give you more than 1 or 2 innings. His most he's pitched was 2 innings against Welland on July 16th. Typically comes in for 1 frame.
That's up high. Baycats can use the bullpen today. They have some off days coming up, and they've not been heavily using the bullpen over the last few games. Here's the 3-1. 3-2. Big swing and a miss there from Byron Reichstein.
Russell did give up 5 hits in his 1 inning of work against the Guelph Royals on August 9th, but only allowed 1 earned run in that 1 inning he pitched.
That was a home run to Connor Morrow.
Good memory.
Foul back. I called that game.
Yeah, that was in Guelph that Tuesday night last week, I guess, or this past week.
Yep. Pitch coming from Aiden. That's down and in, ball 4. Reichstein walks to lead off the inning.
Well, here comes Drew Lawrence. He is one of those 6 London Majors in the lineup today who are first-year players in London.
Phil Whelan's going to pinch hit, actually, so kind of ruins your point, but we'll let you say the point anyway. What was your point?
So Stephen Whalen comes in, but 6 majors of the 9 that started this game are first-year players. And so, you think of London as a championship team. Well, there's 6 guys there that are still looking for their first this year. This is a hungry ball club, and they have a lot to prove.
First pitch to Phil Whelan is up high.
So they are the reigning champs, but there's a lot of guys up and down this lineup who are still looking for their first taste of championship glory here in the Intercounty Baseball League.
And that's up high as well. 2-0.
Brad Grieveson threw 25 pitches today, coming on in relief of Juan Benitez.
Lawrence was 1 for 3. He singled and then stole a base against Grieveson. And there's a big cut and a miss, 2-1. Phil Whelan, first at bat for him. He is an outfielder, so will likely take Lawrence's spot.
I think I may have said Stephen Whalen. It's Phil Whalen, and then Phil is in his first year with the London Majors as well.
Big swing and a miss, 2-2.
Phil coming to the Majors from Calgary, Alberta, this 2022 season.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Kicks and throws. Foul back. Reichstein at first is not a huge threat to steal a base. He is not slow, but he's not one of the fastest runners on the team. Pitch to Whelan. And that's up and away, and it's ball 3, 3-2. Dan Perrier is on deck. Going with the lefty-righty here. Right-handed hitter against the left-handed Aiden Russell. And that's ball 4.
We have 2 Whalens in the IBL. Stephen Whalen, who we're more familiar with the Kitchener Panthers, and Phil Whalen here
I think they spelled their name a little bit differently. I think it's Phil Whelan, right? And then Stephen Whalen.
Oh, is it Whelan?
Yes.
Okay, because I was trying to figure out if there's any family relation there, but that would not
suggest
be the case if
yeah.
spelling is different.
Kieran Bowles will pinch hit for Dan Perrier, so another lefty-righty matchup here. Let's face off against the lefty Russell.
And you're right, Phil has an E, Whalen, I guess, and Whalen is Stephen Whalen for Kitchener. So obviously no relation.
First pitch, a strike to Kieran Bowles.
At least they're not on the same team. That would really confuse the heck out of us.
Russell ready on the hill. Got his sign from Plumpton. Looks back at the runner at second. Big cut and a miss there. Reichstein is hopping around a little bit out there. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1-2.
Brendan Colley really on his toes at second base, kind of darting in there, trying to get ready for any sort of pickoff attempt that Aiden Russell may want to attempt. Just shifting over to the right side a little bit there in between pitches.
Here's the 1-2 from Russell. Up high, 2-2.
And when he does that, he needs to move back to his position. He doesn't want to open up that right side of the infield too much.
Majors hitters being very patient against Aiden Russell, the lefty. Here the 2-2 comes. It's a right field foul. Didn't get anywhere near right field, just right side, I should say. Two. Kicks and throws. And that is inside, and it's 3-2. A third straight 3-ball count for the Majors.
Well, this is a big pitch coming up here. The last time the Majors got 3 base runners in a row, it was part of that 4-run 5th inning. And certainly Russell does not want to replicate that here in the 7th.
On the ground, left side, could be 2. Infante to second for 1, back to first, call it 2. Up to third goes Reichstein. It's a double play.
Well, that could have been a triple play, and I actually thought Infante might try to apply the tag. He didn't. He elected to go for the double play instead, probably wisely so, because he was able to guarantee 2 outs. If he had have tried to tag Reichstein, he may have only gotten the 1. But that was set up for a possible triple play. Infante had to think awful quickly and decided to just go ahead and make the safe throw to second.
So here's Candell.
And I have never seen a Baycat triple play in my years of announcing here. That would have been something.
First pitch from Russell is a strike, 0-1.
As soon as Infante made the throw to second, that allowed Reichstein to carry on to third, but he was hung up. He was hung out to dry.
0-1 from Aiden. Popped up. Moving in is James Anderson. He's got it. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. Couple base runners for the Majors, but they do not get a run. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Still 9-1 for the London Majors. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. Brendan Kelly will lead things off for the Barrie Baycats here in the bottom of the 7th inning against Jose Arias. 7th inning, by the way, brought to you by Firehouse Subs, Barrie and Aurelia. Only top quality, freshly sliced meats and cheeses piled high on toasty hot rolls. Buy subs, save lives. First pitch to Colley is outside. Ball 1. Colley 0 for 2 today, has struck out and flown out. That's hit to left field, not deep. Moving over is Reichstein. He'll make the catch, 1 away. Here's Juan Familia. He's 0 for 2.
Center fielder number 22, Juan Familia.
Familia has struck out swinging in both of his plate appearances to this point. First pitch up and in. Arias has pitched well today. to say the least. And there's a strike, 1-1.
This next pitch will be his 90th. He's thrown 59 strikes, 29 balls. 60 strikes, excuse me.
1-1 count coming. Upstairs, and he swings and misses, and it's 1-2.
90 pitches for Jose Arias now. 61 strikes, 29 balls. He has been a workhorse out there on the mound for manager Rup Chanderdat.
Sure
Today,
has.
no exception.
As they enter the playoffs, he will be one of their top starting pitchers, if not their top starting pitcher, alongside Owen Boone. Down and away, 2-2.
Good spot to watch.
Arias kicks and throws. And that's down and away. Count full at 3-2.
As mentioned, this is the only afternoon game on this Saturday around the IBL. Toronto is at Guelph tonight, and Welland is in Brantford.
Down low, Familia on with a walk.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns. All right, good to see you guys. Enjoying that. Couple days in medicine.
Here's Carson Burns, doubled in the first inning, is 0 for 2 since then. Has a runner on first base now. That's Juan Familia, who's got good speed. Does not go. First pitch is a strike, 0-1.
Well, I'm not sure if Familia will be going here down by 8 runs, but he is a perfect 4 for 4 in steal attempts this season, so we know he can run.
Here's the 0-1. Hit up the middle. That's a base hit for Carson Burns over the leaping Keith Candell. Familia up to second, and 2 straight base runners for the Baycats.
The designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio.
Big cheers for Ryan Rio as they go out to the mounds. Looks like Jose Arias will remain in the game for now, at least.
Just noticing that Byron Reichstein has taken over for Daniel Perrier at first base, so Reichstein moves from left to first. Not sure who's in left field right now. We'll try to find that out for you.
Likely Phil Whalen, or is he in center field?
Whalen
maybe
came
it's
on for
Kieran
Drew
Bowles.
Lawrence. It may be Bowles.
So we'll keep an eye on that for you.
Fans really behind Ryan Rio here. Baycats home run and RBI leader. They want to see him do some damage here in this 7th inning and get this crowd something to cheer about.
So here's
Well-
Rio, left-handed hitter, stepping in against the right-handed Jose Arias. Runners on first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch from the righty Arias is grounded to third. Over in the shortstop area, the third baseman flips it to the second baseman and gets the second out. That's Taylor Wright over to Jacob Newton, 2 away.
The third baseman, number 8, Bradford.
So that'll be a fielder's choice. Burns out on the play. Familia up to third. So it's Rio on first and Familia at third with 2 out.
And we can confirm Phil Whalen is in left field now.
Thank you.
But Andrew Lawrence out of the game, so we need to find out who the center fielder is.
That would be
Bulls?
Bulls, you would think.
Bulls hit in Perrier's spot in the order. Those outfielders are a long way from our vantage point.
They sure are. Here's Infante. 2 out in the inning. And that's low. Count, I believe, 2-0. It's a left. That's a base hit. In comes Familia, and the Baycats have scored another. It's 9-2.
The left fielder, number 34, James Anderson.
So Jacob Newton has moved from second to center field.
So I would assume that means Bowles is playing second.
So now we need to know who the second baseman is. So let's try to run through this for you. Reichstein moves from left to first. Perrier is out of the game, we think. Whalen, who came on as a pinch hitter in Drew Lawrence's spot, takes over in left field. Lawrence leaves the game. Newton moves to center.
Is that
and
a balk? Or no, a wild pitch. Excuse me, was looking down at my notes.
Did you say 37 at second? And at second base is Eric McClellan, who's on our roster as a catcher.
So a lot happened right there. A wild pitch moves Infante to second. And Rio up to third. It's Kieran Bowles at second base.
Yeah, you got it.
We just corrected that, excuse me. Runners on second and third. That removes the double play opportunity, or at least traditionally, and that is low. Figured it out.
Let's run through the whole defense for you again here. Phil Whalen in left. Jacob Newton in center. Starling Joseph remains in right, as far as we know. Taylor Wright is at third. Keith Candell at short. Kieran Bowles at second. Byron Reichstein at first. The battery, Arias, and Mullen.
That's a strike.
A lot of changes there.
Count 1 and 2 to James Anderson.
7 and right.
Doubled and made it to third. His last time up, which was in the 6th. Starling Joseph is still in right, by the way. 1-2. Down and away.
Nice mix by Jose Arias, who is now surpassed 100 pitches. That was his 102nd pitch of this ball game. We have a left-hander throwing down in the Guelph bullpen, or the London bullpen.
Guelph not in this game, Ben. Popped up left side and foul into the Guelph bullpen. Anderson trying to get something going here with 2 outs. Trying to continue the rallies. That is foul tip back into the catcher's glove for a strikeout. And that'll end the inning. Heading to the 8th. It's London 9, Baycats 2. You're watching Baycats TV and the Barrie Baycats on Rogers TV in Barrie.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma and Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
We go to the top of the 8th here at Vintage Throne Stadium in the township of Springwater. It's the London Majors comfortably on top of the Barrie Baycats by a score of 9-2. 6th of 6 regular season matchups between the Baycats and the Majors. Jacob Newton, who started this game at second base, is now the center fielder. Newton today 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored in the 6th inning, and he will face Barrie right-hander Brandon Hillier, who will be the 4th pitcher for the Baycats here this afternoon. Hillier, an Orangeville native, and this is his first appearance of the month. Has not worked for the Baycats since July 28th against Hamilton. 3-0 Baycat win. He pitched two innings of relief that day. To first, easy play for Josh Cote, 1 down here in the 8th. Taylor Wright, the third baseman, will bat.
Third baseman number 29, Taylor Wright.
For Hillier, it is his 15th appearance of the season, all of them in relief. Comes in with a 1-0 record and a 3.11 earned run average. 17 innings of work this season, 21 strikeouts, just 7 walks. Hard-throwing right-hander. This one's deep to center field, and it's over the head of Juan Familia. Goes back to the wall to pick it up. It's a stand-up double for Taylor Wright. So Wright with 2 doubles in this ball game. And the veteran Cleveland Brownlee will come to the dish.
Designated hitter number 35, Cleveland Brownlee.
And now a conference on the mound as Brant Fianfante and Tyler Plumpton will chat with Brandon Hillier about how to pitch Cleveland Brownlee. Brownlee always dangerous at the plate. Reached on an error in the 5th. That was part of a 4-run 5th inning for the Majors. Drove in 2 with an RBI single in the 6th as well. So officially 1 for 4 on the day. He'll bat here with a runner on and 1 out in the 8th. 9-2 London. Swings and misses at the first offering from Brandon Hillier. Hillier hails from Orangeville. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. Former Burlington Bandit and Hurd are joining the Baycats in 2019. This one on the ground, and Fonte looks the runner back and makes the throw to first. Brownlee retired 5-3, and there's 2 down here in the top of the 8th. London 3-2 head-to-head over the Baycats so far this season. Barrie coming off a big home win over Welland here on Thursday. 3-1 on a gem by left-hander Frank Garces, who threw a complete game here on Thursday night. Much different story today as the pitching has struggled. Benitez, Grieveson, Russell, and now Hillier in a 9-2 London lead. Bounces up. Plumpton couldn't find it, goes back to the screen to get it, and down to third base goes Taylor Wright. So Wright takes third. I believe they're going to call that a pass ball. Robert Mullins had a big day today for the majors. Big 2-run homer in the first. Walked in the third, singled and scored in the fifth. 2 for 3 today. Brandon Hillier with the 1-1 pitch, and that one's fouled off to the right side. And the count is 1-2. Nine runs, 12 hits for the majors, 2 runs, 7 hits for the Baycats. Barrie with the only 2 errors in the game. Trailing by 7. London looking to add. Runner at third, 2 out. 1-2, and it's high, and the count is even. London with 32 runs in 2 games coming into today. Add 9 to that with today's total. Strike 3. The double by Taylor Wright, stranded at third, and no further. Mullins strikes out to end the 8th. We go to the bottom half of the inning. Barrie down by 7. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
No runs on 1 hit.
New pitcher for the London Majors, Pedro de los Santos, left-hander. He's a guy that has both come out of the bullpen, mostly this year coming out of the bullpen, and been a starter. That was mostly last season for the London Majors, where he was a really strong starting pitcher last year. It was a bit of a surprise to me when I saw that they were going to move him to the pen, but he's been an excellent reliever, and they've had a great rotation anyway. So a deep pitching staff. Second time this season De Los Santos has come in Barrie in relief of Arias. Ben?
Go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Brad McQuinn comes to the plate to lead it off for the Baycats. This inning brought to you by the newly redesigned BarrieBaycats.com, featuring more highlights, more game day info, and more info about your team. Head to BarrieBaycats.com now to get the whole game day experience. McQuinn, Plumpton, Cote due up for the Baycats, trailing by 9. Pedro de los Santos, 33 years old, from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Former Toronto Maple Leaf, came to the IBL in the 2017 campaign, and then joined London last year. Was one of the IBL's premier starting pitchers last season with a sparkling 7-2 record and a 2.19 earned run average. As Patrick mentioned, moved to the bullpen mostly this season, although he has made 9 starts. 3-3 record this year in 2022 and 6.29 the earned run average. Not quite as dominant as he was a year ago. Pedro was 2-0 in the playoffs as well. 2.55 earned run average.
Yeah, he was a big part of that championship
season.
team.
Inside, and the count is 2-1 to Brad McQuinn. McQuinn 0 for 3 today. Arias threw just over 100 pitches today. He is in line for his 10th win of the year. Mentioned Jake Harford getting his 10th win here for Welland last week, and now a chance for Jose Arias to reach double digits for London. Full line to the 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Down goes Brad McQuinn.
The
Catcher Tyler Plumpton will bat with 1 out.
Tyler Plumpton.
Not the Jay McQuinn was hoping for at the plate, 0 for 4.
Tough game all around for most of these Baycat hitters in the lineup. It started promising with a double and a big run scored on an RBI by Branfi Infante in the first inning, but Baycats just have not been able to do a whole lot since. We're able to scratch out a run on a wild pitch in the 7th inning, but unable to create any sort of sustained offensive attack again here this afternoon. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tyler Plumpton.
Plumpton's walked and singled.
23rd game for the Baycat catcher. 352 average coming in. Pedro wants a fresh set of signs. Gets what he's looking for, and he rocks into the windup. Here's the 1-1. Fastball low, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Pedro 6 feet, 212 on the mound. Not worked more than 2 innings this month. He pitched 5 innings against Kitchener on July 31st, but his 2 outings after that were he had two innings of relief work against Toronto on the 5th, and then just 1 inning against Guelph on the 6th. Definitely using him in a more abbreviated role than they did in the 2021 season. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Plumpton. 9-2 London. We're in the 8th. Here comes the 2-2 from De Los Santos. Swung on and missed. 3 straight Barrie strikeouts, with Anderson striking out to end the 7th, and now McQuinn and Plumpton go back-to-back Ks.
All swinging, too. Deception off the pitches from Arias and De Los Santos.
Josh Cote has reached base twice. He singled and walked. Fastball for a strike. On the ground, to Hopper to third. Taylor right. Across the diamond in time for the out. Baycats go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the 9th we go. It's London comfortably on top. 9-2 for the Majors. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie or revivemedspa.ca.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Ninth inning at Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater Township with Patrick Melbourne. I'm Ben Davey, and it is a 9-2 London blowout here this afternoon, as the Majors will try to add to that with Starling Joseph, Byron Reichstein, and Drew Lawrence, Phil Whalen, all due up for the Majors. And they will face 22-year-old Max Lojko, who will take the mound for the first time in more than a month.
Lojko, he's actually done some first base coaching for the team over the last month, so he's been with the team. This is an opportunity for him to prove that he should be in games heading into the playoffs.
Has not worked 3 innings in any of his appearances this season, so he used in an abbreviated role out of the bullpen exclusively, as this one's popped foul. For Lojko, his 7th
foul
appearance.
In a way where that would have been long gone if it was fair, though.
7th appearance of the year, and all of them out of the bullpen. Saw action in 5 games last season, no decision in 7 innings of work. Joseph today with a little bit of everything. Had a big home run in the 5th, hit into a double play, a double, and a strikeout. And this one down the left field line, and that should be extra bases. It will be. The ball thrown in by Anderson, and it's a stand-up double for Starling Joseph.
First baseman number 48, Byron Reichstein.
The 3 for 5 goes Joseph today. Byron Reichstein is now the game's first baseman after starting in left field. He'll come up to the plate here in the 9th inning with 1 on and nobody out. Lojko's first offering misses away. Lojko, a hometown product of Barrie. This one down the line, and that is just foul. Right side, over to retrieve it is Brad McQuinn. And back to second, we'll go Starling Joseph. Wojtko, a tall right-hander, 6'5". Checks in at 235. His last outing, July 9th against Kitchener, that was the 20-1 Baycat win. He threw just one inning out of the bullpen that day. This one a mile high, and when it comes down, it will be caught by Branfi Infante. One out in the ninth.
Phil Whelan first came into this game as a pinch hitter for a lefty-righty matchup because Aiden Russell had come into the game. And now he gets to face a righty.
Whalen in left field with Reichstein moving from left to first. And he comes to the plate here. Second plate appearance of the game. And he hits that one on the ground too short. Carson Burns looks the runner back, makes the throw over in time, 2 away. Joseph stays at second. And it brings Kieran Bowles to the plate.
Second baseman, number 97, Kieran Bowles.
Bowles 1 for 4 with a single. Stole a base, but is also grounded into a double play.
And that double play again, I'm going to go back and take a look at it when we watch the YouTube.
I feel like it should have been a triple play.
And it seems like I'm the only one up here that thought maybe Branfi had a chance to put that tag on Reichstein. We'll never know. But he elected to go for the safe out at second and then complete the double play. But
well, you don't want to miss the safe outs by trying to go for one that is a little uncertain, right?
I mean, Reichstein might have gotten into a bit of a rundown there, and that would have messed up the double play. But, you know, he had nowhere to go. It was a force all around. So I was a little, as that one hits. Bowles, I believe. No. Did it hit the bat? No, it just got by. He ducked out of the way. I thought that might have got a piece of him on the way by. It didn't. So down to third goes Joseph.
By the way, in the bottom of the ninth, it'll be Brendan Colley, Juan Familia, and Carson Burns duo.
I've never seen a triple play here at Vintage Throne Stadium, and I was hoping that might be the play today.
Have you ever seen a triple play anywhere?
Not in person. Not in attendance, no. Branfi spins and fires, makes a nice play. And that does it for London here in the ninth. We go to the bottom of the inning. Majors up by 7. You're watching Baycats TV. Have you seen a triple play in person? Bottom of the ninth inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. Majors up by 9. Baycats will send up Brendan Culley, Juan Familia, and Carson Burns. And Pedro de los Santos will remain on to try to nail this one down for the Majors. Ninth inning for Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping, servicing Simcoe County for all your landscaping needs. So, Patrick Melbourne, assuming this score holds up, Toronto Maple Leafs with 5 games left. As soon as Toronto wins one of those 5 games, we know that the playoff matchup is Toronto and Barrie, and the Leafs would have home field advantage in that first round. Game 1 would be at Christie Pitts in Toronto, as soon as the Maple Leafs win one of those 5 games remaining.
It's been the matchup that most have expected for a little while now.
The head-to-head matchup favors the Leafs, so that would give them the tiebreaker. They're 4-2 in the season series over the Baycats. And Barrie's had some trouble at Christie Pitts this season. The one good thing about playing there, though, there's always a great contingent of Baycat fans that make that trip down the 400, especially in the playoffs, to watch them play. So that's going to be some exciting baseball, not only down there, but up here, I'm sure, as well.
And Toronto fans can get loud, so it's up to the Baycats fans to cheer on their team in the playoffs.
Cauley couldn't hold up, and he goes down swinging. 5 straight Baycats have been retired here. And Juan Familia will bat with one away here in the 9th inning. Baycats, of course, played Toronto in round 2 of last year's playoffs, and the Leafs won that, taking 2 out of 3 in the best of 3. Some fans felt kind of, understandably, it was a COVID-shortened season, but the playoff series being best of 3, I can't remember if the finals were best of 5. I think they were. Yeah. But it just didn't feel like, I think a lot of fans didn't feel like they got their share of playoff baseball last year.
So a longer playoff potentially this season and more of a regular season. And with teams potentially expanding into the league, you wonder if the season could expand just a little bit more again into these last couple of weeks where there's not a ton of games in these last couple of weeks.
Foul back to the screen. Yeah, it is unusual that Toronto has 5 games left. The Baycats will only have 2 left after today.
And when I say adding games, I don't mean adding games in a way that's super, super significant. But if you fill in that last week with games from an additional team joining, then that could make sense.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from De Los Santos. Swing and a miss. Familia goes down. Baycats just with no answers for Pedro de los Santos here. He's been perfect since coming into this game. Here comes Carson Burns with 2 out. The Baycats get Welland in Welland on Saturday evening next weekend. That'll be a fun road trip if you're looking for a ball game to take in. And then Brantford here to wrap up the home schedule on Sunday night. That game at 7 here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Patrick and I will have the live call. High fastball, and it's 1-1. As for London, plenty at stake here in their remaining games as they battle it out with Welland and Guelph to try to capture the 2022 IBL pennant. London currently 1 game ahead of Welland, so there'll be some scoreboard watching over these last few games for sure. Pitch from De Los Santos inside, and the count is 2-2. This crowd is thinned out considerably as we approach the 3-hour mark here this evening.
It's been a hot day, too, so some people just looking for shade wherever they can get it.
Here's the pitch. On the ground. Should be the ball game. De Los Santos fires it to first, and it's in time for the out. So the London Majors take the season series over the Barrie Baycats, 4-2, and they will take a 1.5 game lead over the Welland Jackfish for now atop the IBL standings. And the Barrie Baycats will enjoy a little stretch of games off, Patrick, and then gear it back up for the final 2 games of the season next weekend.
Yep, they'll just look to put this one behind them and go hot into that game against Welland. They won their last game against Welland, so they'll try and do the same thing on the road in Welland Stadium, and then come back home and beat a last-place Brantford Red Sox team. They cannot underestimate them, but there is a standings difference, so they have to be feeling, even after a loss, pretty good about the last couple of games.
And congratulations to Jose Arias, who picks up double-digit win total again this year. 10-1 is his record with a victory here this evening, this 9-2 ball game. Juan Benitez taking the loss for the Baycats. His record now even at 6-6. Final this evening, 9-2 for the Majors over the Baycats. For Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davey. We'll talk to you on Sunday evening. The Brantford Red Sox come to town to wrap up the 2022 regular season. From Vintage Throne Stadium, good night, everybody.